Yeah, cool. So yeah, as we were talking about, obviously good people around you and everything like that. Obviously, do you feel it if you have some issues or anything like that, not yourself, but in general, people, do you feel it's got to be the right people you're talking to, and know that you can talk to them?
Definitely. I have some friends that they essentially use me as like a sponge. Like I know they know that they can talk to me and I won't judge them regardless. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? I've got so many different friends from different like backgrounds and everything like that. And
Yeah,
when they talk to me, they know that that will stay with me for one, but I can also, because I've been in different experiences, I can then give them like an honest response back. Do
mm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
What you sometimes get, and I've realized why there may have been problems back in the day, is if somebody doesn't have various experiences, then they're going to be very close-minded.
yeah,
So what would happen is, as I said, that was me years back. If someone came to me something emotionally, there were certain people I would just block it. I'd be like like we just you say things. Obviously, it's wrong now, but you'd be like, oh, that's gay. Like, stop that. Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah. Of
But
course, yeah,
with time, everybody's becoming more educated, and people are starting to understand other people's scenarios. And now we're in a place where a lot of people now really understand that mental health isn't just like the people that we thought were psychotic or something, for example. It could
yeah.
be someone that you think you don't even realize that they have any issues. So
Mm.
now I just think there's a lot more people trying to do that and be positive, and I'm all for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, sorry, just before I go into my question, why do guys think emotion is a sign of weakness?
I'll tell you why it was for me. I looked at it as like a male. I was supposed to make loads of money, drive the best cars, look after your family, but be the head, make all the decisions. Do you know what I mean? And it was like
Yeah,
all of these things, and I was always in a football environment. So what would happen to me from young, as you know, I'd go into a football environment, and the second you walk in, everybody's judging you. Do you
yeah,
see what I mean?
mm,
So the thing you can't show is weakness. Now I had to do that repeatedly, as many of us has, but repeatedly, and then also you're judged. Do you know what I mean? Like someone like me, maybe you're big or whatever, you're judged straight away. People think, oh, he's got to be a man and stuff like that. So I think that's the reason why many people saw it as weakness.
yeah,
I think it's becoming more balanced now. For example, like I see it, people will talk to their kids and learn from their kids, whereas previously it was like you have to teach your kids everything. Do you know what I mean? People
mm,
weren't open to listening to their kids. Maybe people weren't open to listening to their wife. But now it's a changing environment. Do you know what I mean? That the
mm,
household is becoming something like everybody has a valid opinion, and you might learn something from them if you're open. If you're not open, you're just going to have that closed mind. So I think that's why I originally thought it was like a sign of weakness. But as I said, I've seen the biggest, strongest people break down. And now that that's happened, it lets me know, look, everybody's going through this. Like everybody suffers in one way or the other. It just
mm.
depends if they show it or not.
Yeah, no. Kingy said, yeah, talking sense still. Um, the one who asked the question, DJ Hall, said emotion is an expression important to have a form of release. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely, 100%.
yeah.
Why do you feel there? I don't know if there as much now. I don't think it is, but there was back in the day the stereotype of if you've got mental health, you're crazy, you're a nutcase. And I'll be honest, I've said it on a couple of shows. Probably back in the day, I thought that,
Yeah.
but obviously it's an eye opener. But why do you feel that was the case?
I see, I can say from my experience, like, for example, one of my cousins, like a family cousin, um, he suffers from mental health and he has to take pills and stuff like that.
Mm.
And I saw that as that's the extreme, that is mental health. And in order to combat mental health, you need to take pills. Do you know what I mean? Or you need to take medicine.
Yeah.
Now, some mental health could actually be somebody just having like anxiety attacks or drops in emotion, and do you know what I mean?
Mm.
There's so many different levels of it. And what it was is that people used to think, okay, you can just eradicate that simple bit. Oh, I've got an emotion problem, man up, just deal with it that way. Whereas when I've talked to different people, I then realized that there were people that had mental health issues, but they seemed minute to me, but to them it's everything. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So I classified it by, if it was minute to me, then it's nothing. But then you realize, look, so many people have different mental health issues. Some people have issues with their family not being able to see their children. That sends them into depression. I couldn't relate with that. I didn't understand the feeling or the emotion. Do you know what I mean? But just from talking from so many different experiences, I now see that it could be anything. And the worst thing to do is to kind of like be naive and brush it under the carpet, because when that person then, I don't know, commits suicide or something, you're going to realize you could have helped and you didn't. And now it is the extreme version of mental health. So
Mm.
that's how I see it.
No, 100%. Obviously, between obviously football and education, how do you feel? Obviously, it's all about money and funding, etc. But how do you feel that people could probably, or governments or projects can help better within football and education?
For me, football and sport in itself, I believe, saves a lot of people from those issues. Um, I worked with a lot of kids in catering coaching, and there was a child there that had, like, let's say, mental health issues. But his mum would come to me after and say, this training session alone was something he looked for, like he'd look forward to throughout the whole week.
Yeah.
And I just believe that there needs to be more outlets for not just kids, but people in general to express themselves. I also think like if you notice in this country, there's been a change in health. So, for example, there's so many gyms now. I think that's a major thing that takes people away from mental health. They're exercising. They're in a
Mm.
place which they can use that as their outlet. That's what I use football for. I'm on a computer all day.
Mm.
If I don't get out and do something, I feel my mood and my depression like coming on. As soon as I go out, play football, do sport, be around people, be social, my happiness goes up. So I think the government just need to look at so many different ways. And as I said, it's not just certain things. It could be, some people want to skateboard, some people want to do art. So put funding into things that people enjoy and let them learn and let them express themselves.
100%. Last question before I go on to obviously Ty, last guest. What are your overall thoughts? What people can do better going forward, and how we can help anyone struggling now and in the future?
On a personal note, I truly think that people should have a lot more discussions, and people should listen a lot more. Exactly what you're doing right now is going to open it up to a lot of people. I
Mm.
think that people in positions of like power or fame and stuff like that, they they need to make people more aware of mental health, the
Yeah.
effects of mental health, And I think that, as I said, on a personal note, if everybody messaged, I don't know, 5 friends and just asked them how they were doing, and did that once a week, once a month, however much, it would become normal.
Yeah.
And then I think there would be less people struggling. You always hear, every time there's a suicide, it's because that person hasn't been able to find an outlet. They haven't been able to speak to someone or do exactly what they needed to do to get them away from that feeling. So I would advise everybody to just message that people, even the ones that, as we see, the people that, like Robin Williams and stuff like that, you see
Yeah.
these people who are laughing, joking all the times, and sometimes they're the people that are experiencing mental health the worst. So
Yeah.
it's just a case of like expanding your horizons, speaking to people, asking them how they are, seeing how you can help, and if you can help, then helping.
100%. Last few, obviously, yeah, everyone's saying what you're saying is correct, and the mental health awareness definitely needs to start in school and curriculum. Do you agree
Yeah,
with that?
100%, 100%. Because it there was it's so weird, but I remember now there was a kid when I was younger. I'm sure it was primary school, or that committed suicide as well. And
Mm.
like you don't really realize those things at those
Mm.
ages. You're like, but what I didn't also realize is that like every home wasn't a happy home like mine. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't realize at those times that some people are going home and they're experiencing trauma, and then they come to school and they're behaving crazy, and the teachers are like, why? And you're like, what's wrong with you? But that's the result of what they're experiencing. So it definitely needs to start in schools as young as possible, and it really, really needs to be taken serious, because it's something that can be avoided. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it might take money and funding, and sometimes it just takes a message. So it's something that people
Yeah.
really need to.
Percent. Yeah. So Andrew, thank you very much for coming on, mate. Keep safe, and hopefully we can catch up real soon. Anyway.
All right, speak soon.
Yeah.
All right.
You too, mate. Comments. Keep them coming into our last guest, Tyrone Sterling. He's been waiting for a while. Hello.
Jamie, how's it going, mate? You alright?
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Good,
How are you?
good. Yeah, good, man. I've been listening in. It's been
Yeah.
some great convos, man. It's yeah, much needed in this time.
Yeah. Cheers. Thank you, mate. So, for the ones that don't know you, as I said, as I say to everyone, let them know who you are, how we know each other, and what you're doing now.
Yeah, Tyrone Sterling. I've obviously been in the non-league for probably a couple of 10 years now or so. I know you. Obviously, you've messaged me. I had you on social media, but yeah, you messaged me about the England six-a-side team.
Yeah.
At first, I'm not even gonna lie, I thought it was a prank. I was like, what's this about? Six-a-side England? And then when it all come to light, obviously realised what it was, and obviously we got talking, and we went out to Greece together. So
Yeah.
yeah, as I said, at first you don't know what's going on. I've had got a lot of guys in football like to play a lot of pranks and jokes and stuff, and yeah. But as I say, once I got to know you and knew what it was all about, it was, it's been a great sort of relationship between us since then. But
Yeah.
yeah, I played for various different non-league clubs, Dover, and also I run the community scheme, Cray Wanderers community scheme. So the community section, we go into schools, do education, mentoring in all the local schools, colleges, youth centres, in sort of the local community. So that's where it all started. And obviously football came to light a bit more later in my career as well. So yeah, that's a bit about me.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying to you, be careful while you're driving, mate.
I'm not driving. I'm not driving. So everyone's cool. Do you know what? It's my mum's birthday, and she's requested another bottle of wine. So it's got to be done. You know, when mum requests something, you've got to go and do it.
You gotta go
I've
and
had
do
to
it.
go out. So my friends decided to. My friends decided
Helps
to
if
drive.
you put your belt on, mate.
Yeah,
Put your belt on.
well, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no,
Apologise.
cool. But
Yeah.
so Vinesy, first of all, before we get into it, Vinesy turned around and said,
Fine.
where is he? Let me say, where is
Why
he?
is he, bro? Why is he on?
Yeah, he said, taught him everything he knows. So he said he taught you everything he knows.
You know what? I can't. You know what? I've got to laugh because I can't even argue. I can't even argue with Vinesy. Listen, he said to me, he was one of the first people that said to me when I was, at that Cray Wanderers, and you know what? I was sitting on the bench for the first year of my career. Then the second year, I had a few games. And then the next year, I think Vinesy was there and he kind of put me under his arm and just said, T, listen, you're going to do great things in this world, this football world. Got to be patient. Keep doing what you're doing. You're a great, he gave me those words of wisdom. So Vinesy, if you're listening, I appreciate everything you said because, we're talking about just sort of resilience and staying strong and persevering in this football world. And Vinesy's given me that because if he didn't do that, I could have easily quit. And there's a lot of players out there that, without that guidance, have quit the game and they're great players. I'm good at what I do, but there's a lot of players that have dropped out and they're even better than what I am. So Vinesy, listen, I appreciate what you say. Now, even though it's banter, that's my little heartfelt for you, and I'll let you have that, mate. Yeah, you did teach me a lot. You did
He
teach me a
said
lot.
he's just come back. He said, "Top boy, you achieved great things and you deserve it all, bro."
Nah, it's love. It's love. It's love. It's love. It's love. It's love. Thank you, Vinesy. Thank you, bro.
Yeah. So hold up. Yeah, let's stop with all this love now and let's get back to the subject. But anyway, yeah. So obviously, what's your thoughts on overall on mental health?
Yeah, so obviously this is a key time, obviously, I mean, look, everyone's going to experience their own things in mental health outside of football, obviously, but I'm going to talk about, obviously, the football side of things. For me, the first couple of weeks, especially of this lockdown, and in general, it was tough, This is the game that we love, that we've known, since we were young, we was kids. We love football and not having it on TV, just to talk about that, not having it to go and, in the dressing room, the banter with your friends, that is a big loss. People need to realise, I know, the missus and all these people might think, oh yeah, it's just football, get over it. No, it's massive. It's massive for us, and it's what keeps us sane and be able to operate the way we do. So
Yeah.
I think people need to understand and realise, it is a big thing for us, and mental health is about building that resilience in terms of being able to talk to people, because as men, we don't, my missus asked me, oh, what's up? Well, nothing. I'm strong, I'm this, I'm that, because of what society has kind of taught us to be. And actually, do you know what? Sometimes it's about being vulnerable and letting your guard down and saying, do you know what? I'm struggling. And I think I had that conversation with my missus, and she's somebody that I trust and somebody that I talk to and say, listen, I'm having a hard time here, being at home the whole time and just not being able to get out and kick a ball about. It's a big thing, and she kind of supported me through that. So yeah, I commend all the players out there that have got through this period, and yeah, and hopefully we're back playing very soon.
Yeah. Obviously touching on lockdown and everything, as you say, through football, but in general, how do you think it's going to affect like millions of people, maybe or thousands or millions of people in the world, and how do you feel people can help maybe with some mental health going forward with certain people?
Yeah, I think a lot of the guys when I listen to, they touched on all the points. It is about reach, as a community of people in the UK, is just everyone reaching out to somebody that's close to them. If you feel okay and you're kind of dealing with things okay, it's reaching out to people that you think might be struggling. A message, a phone call to say, how's things going? The people that you might not have spoke to in the past, and reaching out, and it's not reaching out to anyone, but people that you want to speak to, that you can trust. The trust thing is a big thing. I'm not going to go and speak to just anyone random. It needs to be someone that I feel like I can trust and I can speak to and reach out. Maybe a role model, you know. Someone like Vinesy, if I was ever struggling, he'll be someone I might turn to, because there's someone I trust who's helped me in the past, that I might look to. So it is important to reach out, but it's who people want to reach out to as well. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not just anyone, because I don't feel comfortable just talking about my vulnerabilities to random people, and that's going to be a factor in this as well. So I think overall, reaching out to each other is definitely going to help. And there's definitely, there's other places. There's lighters, there's phone calls, there's helplines you can call. Obviously, there's that section of the things as well. But yeah, definitely, I think as a community, especially in football, we need to help each other as well. There needs to be some type of something put in place that can help footballers through this time, and anyone in general, really. There's somewhere they know they can turn to. That's my main thoughts.
Spoken to a few people about it, obviously, in general, and they don't feel it is. From the top to the bottom, there's not enough help for players mentally, especially in non-league setting. I feel like it's all about results per person. We're not worried as much as a coach, maybe, or as a player, what a person's going through, because you're there to get results. Do you feel that is the case?
Yeah, I'd agree. Look, everyone listening, hopefully, if that's in the football world, will tell you that football is very cutthroat, and a little bit selfish. There's probably the rare amount of people that will reach out and actually ask you how you feel, and I know those people and respect them fully, because they might ask the question and put your arm around people and ask them how they're feeling. But generally, as you said, in football in general, people just want to win a game of football. They just want to win, and not everyone. If I was experiencing something right now, I wouldn't even know who do I go and talk to. Do I go and talk to my manager? Because if I talk to my manager, is he going to drop me out of the team because I'm not in the right headspace? Or is he going to be like, oh no, you'll be fine, you can speak to this, but is he going to direct me in the right place? And I don't know if football is equipped enough. They're not interested, and this is not disrespecting the world, but at the end of the day, it's their jobs on the line, their livelihood on the line as well. So I can understand that, but there definitely needs to be something put in place that can support the footballers when they're struggling in these times. So yeah, I mean that's just my thoughts.
Do you feel the stereotype and the stigma is getting better, or do you still feel it's very much the same?
Yeah, as we become more aware of mental health and how things are, I'd like to think that people are becoming a bit more tuned to it and going to help each other out. Things like this, Jamie, what you're doing is crucial, because you're pivotal in this non-league world. Managers might be looking at this, people might see this and say, do you know what, we need to help out. So maybe this conversation is something that's going to help all teams trying to come to a solution for this. But yeah, I believe it has changed a lot, but is there room for more? There's definitely always room for more. Do you know what I mean? So I think it's on the right direction. We understand it, and I think the only thing to do is to talk more like this. So you need to continue things like this. Clubs need to be more actively setting up platforms for players to talk, to come out and discuss mental health, because it is unfortunately it's the way of life right now. A lot of people are struggling. So I think it's a good idea for us to create these platforms.
What do you feel? Touching on obviously the education, you do obviously a lot of community work, going into schools and stuff like that. How do you feel schools maybe? I know it's about funding. We know about that, but how do you feel schools can help in general better than maybe what they have done in the past few years going forward?
Yeah, I think I heard the last guy. I forgot his name, but he mentioned it about it has to start within our grassroots. So it's as I said, it's that word. It's building the resilience of our young players to deal with situations that come up in their career or in their life. So it's not just the football I'm trying to elaborate on, but it's also it's all of life. And it's key. It starts in our schools. They don't teach it enough to build these guys up so that anything comes up, it's giving them tools ready to achieve their goals. And if they don't get them, then it's going again. And I feel like, I know we spoke, Damien. We're currently setting up a platform of a podcast. Obviously, podcast is really a big thing at the moment. And we're in our colleges talking mental health talks and some of the issues and situations young people are, overcoming, that we can maybe discuss with them. And it's an open forum. Once they talk about it, it's out there. And, hopefully we can solve any problems, and maybe never know, you can point someone in the right direction. But definitely the education system needs to be more equipped in teaching our young people on how to deal with these situations, and that's key. And if it doesn't start there, then I don't know where it's going to start, because these young people, I think I was reading stuff. I was on a course the other day. I think by the time they get to the age of 24, maybe even younger, they've experienced a hell of a lot of stuff, and they're out in the world. They're trying to find jobs. They've been knocked back. They're relying on people for help. It's already started, so we need to do it from the younger ages, ready for them when they get older. So, and if you've got young people in your families, talk to them. Talk to them is key. I've got 2 little daughters. I'm trying to educate them from now. But the education system and the mentoring side of things is a key thing that we all need to, as a group, needs to touch on.
Yeah, no. Obviously, you're touching on that. You went on obviously a course the other day, and I've been on a couple of courses as well. It's all good and well with the education, obviously, of us getting it, and that's good, and it's great for us. But do you feel that sometimes you can't beat the life experience of maybe somebody who's gone through it or been around it, to be able to obviously maybe talk about it? Because it's all good and well us having the tools through education, but you can't beat the life experience of maybe it.
Yeah, agreed. And I think that's something that can be done. I mean, we can bring outside people to come and talk to these young people, to tell them their experiences. I think it's about being resourceful about who's out there that wants to come in and talk. I've talked to a lot of people that have experienced mental health in football, especially. I'm relating it to that, but that's the world I'm in. But that will come in and discuss how sitting on a bench for 6 months, what that done to them, and how that affected their personal life. People coming in from that have experienced it to talk about it is a massive thing. So I think we need to have people that have experienced it for sure. But also there needs to be sort of, as all these education systems have, they've got the theory side of things and the people that can talk about it practically.
I think, as you say, I think it's knowing the right people to be able to come in and out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Junior Bakers.
I see Junior looking at a smile. What are you
Yeah.
saying? Is it a bit dark in here? It's all right, man. Don't worry, man.
Yeah, it's cool. We can hear you, but he's Mr. Skin 2T.
Yeah.
Luke Coleman says as well. Yeah, Ty the legend.
I don't know what makes someone a legend, but I appreciate it, Luke. I appreciate it, man. I feel like I've been in this game. I have been in this game a long time, man. So, and all the other guys that spoke before, I think they will appreciate saying that football is it is our life, and it's gonna have a, if I have a bad game and we lose, that impacts the rest of my week. Mentally, that impacts the rest of my week. I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna be down. I'm just gonna be like, what's the matter with you? Why you do? Everyone's gonna be like that. So I think I think those guys can appreciate that. It's been a long game.
Last question we can do going forward. Overall message of mental health. What you feel, and how do you feel? Obviously, lockdown. When we come out of it, that everyone can help each other. Maybe.
So, as I said from the start, I think it's definitely, everyone's mentioned the same thing, and it keeps cropping up, that we need to be able to talk to people that are closest to us and that we feel that we can trust to speak to. But also it's about building that building your tank up, your resilience to be able to do that. You know, it's all good being able to talk to somebody, but you've got to work within. You know, if it is reading, if it is looking at YouTube videos, whatever it is that's your thing, you need to be able to talk to people. That's going to be the key for you in this game. You know, I suppose not just in football but in life. If you've not got the tools to, I suppose, talk to people and all the rest of the stuff, you're not going to be able to do it. So I think, I think for me, it's just talking. It's talking to the people that are closest to you. And if you haven't got that, it's maybe as a community we need to reach out and speak to people as well.
Yeah. T, just one message from me. Thank you to you, basically, and obviously a few of the other England boys. I've said it on a few of the lives. Over the last year, you've helped me a lot as well. Just even if you don't think you have, but little chats like this and little chats on the messages and that, you've helped me focus my mind and through the troubles what I've gone through. I thought that the closest people would have been closest to me, but they turned out not to be. You know what I mean? So I thank you and a few of the other England lads for what you've done for me for the last year as well, mate.
Yeah, no, likewise, Jay. You've given me a part of my life that I won't forget. You know, that experience out in Greece, you reaching out to me and respecting me as a player to come and represent the England side team. So, you know, the feeling's mutual, mate. And yeah, onwards and upwards, mate. On to the next ventures. Trust me. But this is great. This is great what you're doing as well, man. As I know I spoke to you previous to this, and you know, it's something that I want to do with some of my coaches and some of the people that want to reach out to these young people. So this is definitely giving me a platform to do so. So yeah, I
And
appreciate that.
as I said to you, mate, you or Reggie, anything you need, if I can help you at all, you know where I am. So just ask me. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I
It's
appreciate that,
cool,
Jay.
mate.
Yeah,
Cheers,
nice
mate.
one.
Keep safe, both of you. See you later.
Yeah, take care, mate. Thanks a
Cheers.
lot.
Bye, bye.
Bye, mate.
So that was Tyrone Sterling. Thank you for his insight as well. To be fair, I think you've been four fantastic guests tonight. Yeah, we've had little bits where people have been talking tonight. Unwelcome, but it is what it is. But four fantastic guests. Thank you very much for coming on. Great insight. If you've missed some of it, which I know some of you would have, go to the YouTube page. It will be uploaded there as soon as I can get it on there. It's mental health, hashtag let us talk. We're back on Thursday night at 8:30 with Kai from the People's FC, 1-to-1. We're going to have a chat with him and learn about the story of the People's FC and obviously the story of Kai as well. Yeah, so everyone keep safe. That's me done for tonight. If anyone needs to reach out, you know where I am. But I'll see you on Thursday night at 8:30 with Kai from the People's FC. Keep safe.